So the Steph Curry versus Sabrina Ionescu 3-point contest is not happening. Yes, it is not happening. So it is something that everyone expected to be happening. It was something that we all thought was going to happen. Again, it was the biggest moment of All-Star Weekend last year. But obviously, it's done. Finito. And I think a huge reason for that is Caitlin Clark. I think it is. I think if Caitlin Clark was willing to do this would be happening again. But Shams is after now breaking the news that no, it's done. It is done. So the WNBA NBA shootout with Steph and Sabrina Ionescu is off. We weren't able to land on a plan that we thought would raise the bar of last year's special moment. We all agreed not to proceed and we'll keep the focus on All-Star Sunday's new format. Basically, we didn't want to do the same thing again. We thought Caitlin Clark would do it. Caitlin Clark said no, so we don't want to do it anymore. That's basically it. Caitlin Clark said no, and unless Caitlin Clark does it, it won't be as big as last year's, and all we're trying to do, and like, we only want it to be bigger than last year's. Like, that's a fact. That is a fact when it comes to, when it comes to this. Like, it'll never be as big as it was last year. Like, last year, it was literally the moment of All-Star Weekend. I think everyone will argue that. But with it no longer being waiting on the go for next year, the 3-point contest we want to see, I have no idea who that is on the left. I'm sure there's more to this than they're telling us. But why are they still planning this out and announcing this 2 days before it's supposed to happen? Yep. Zero buzz for All-Star Weekend anyway. Don't know what else the league can do. Big fumble for two Bay Legends where the event is hosted. All-Star Game sucks more every year. NBA is really fumbling everything about All-Star Weekend. Too many format changes and dumb events. The dunk contest used to be the highlight. It's been tracked for years. They need to have a dunk on someone contest. Wow, that would be interesting. Who the shot blocker would be, though? Who would the shot blocker be? Basically make it like the free throws in. If you ever see the free throws in slam ball where you go one-on-one and have to dunk on someone. That would be cool. Translation, we couldn't get Caitlin this year, so decided to hold it off till next year. Yeah. I mean that. Genuinely, like the most watched All-Star Saturday night was last year's game, which is, again, crazy. But it's something that I think we're all in agreement on. That this was the biggest event in All-Star Weekend last year. I think everyone kind of thought that as well. So obviously looking at Sports Illustrated, there's already an article about this in Sports Illustrated. Despite the popularity of last season's edition to Saturday night, the dynamic shooting duo will not run the contest back. Curry and Ionescu were reportedly not interested in a rematch. Instead, they want to expand the contest to include Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark and Dallas Mavericks wing Klay Thompson. Clark declined through her agency, saying that she wanted her first 3-point contest to beat WNBA All-Star Weekend. Later summer, the NBA attempted to resurrect the Clark-Ionescu contest on Wednesday, but neither party would agree to sign off on the simple rematch. Not Clark-Ionescu, Curry-Ionescu. The NBA decided to comment. Wednesday. So they literally went to them, will you do this 2 days in advance? You are joking me, right? You're actually joking me. They wanted them to do this contest on 2 days' notice. Are you kidding me? The NBA... Look, I'm just going to be honest. I didn't even realize it's All-Star Weekend. Like, I've been watching bits and pieces of the NBA. When I'm making content in the NBA, I watch a ton of it. When I'm... Like, I've been sick a little bit at times, and I've been... I've been as well just going for... Like, pushing too hard on this channel, and I've been away. So, there's been times where I haven't watched too much of it. Like, when I'm not making videos. But, I still cannot believe that, 2 days before All-Star Weekend, they tried to resurrect the same thing as last year. When both parties said, you know what, we don't want to do it the same as last year. We want a new format. And then they realized they couldn't do anything, so they were like, oh, let's just do the same format again. And it is mad, the belt as well that Steph Curry's holding, as you can see in the picture, literally says Steph versus Sabrina champion. Steph versus Sabrina champion. Like, imagine trying to bring someone else out for the Steph versus Sabrina shootout. At the same time, like, maybe they're just like, yeah, you know, we've done this once, we're not doing this again. And to be fair, last year's I don't think could have gone more perfectly as well. And I think the players themselves know this. I think Steph and Sabrina both know that it cannot possibly go better than last year. Like, I genuinely don't think... Like, it went so well last year. Because both of them shot the lights out. Both of them absolutely shot the lights out last year. And the fact that both of them would have won the NBA three-point contest. It was the best showing it could have possibly have been. Maybe you could argue, oh, if Sabrina had won, it would have been better, but it makes no odds. It was the display of who were the two best contest shot shooters in the world at the time. And obviously, obviously Sabrina Ionescu and Steph are probably like, well, we can't beat last year. And they're right. They're absolutely right. They cannot. Like, they just can't compete with last year's. Bringing in Caitlin Clark would have been cool. Bringing in Clay would have been cool. And a lot of people are like, oh, genuinely, people have said, and they were like, oh, they should bring in Enrique, the most inconsistent shooter in the history of the WNBA. Should they bring in Alicia Gray? Does not have the name power. And that is a fact as well. Like, if you added in Alicia Gray, who was a WNBA three-point contest champion, unfortunately, she does not have the name power of even an Enrique. If Cam Brink or Angel Reese were good enough shooters, they could bring in either of them, and it would still make the hype. But the problem is that the only way I could see maybe them doing it is if Steph, like, I would have liked to have seen if Steph, they could give in Steph to bring in Dell, and Sabrina bring in, I don't know, Taurasi. Something like that. Or, because Taurasi's a big name. I would say, or Ali Quigley, who's retired, but, like, again, Ali Quigley's not a big enough name. But, like, if Steph could bring, I don't know, who's a really good shooter from back in the day. Steph bring in Ray Allen. And you've got so you got Steph with Ray, and you've got Sabrina with Taurasi. Like, that would be cool. But other than that, like, unless you're getting Caitlin Clark, we know this is probably not going to happen again. So anyway, yeah, that is pretty much it, lads. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you guys happy? Are you guys sad? And what do you guys think overall about this contest? Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.